Actually, I'll let you ask. So I don't.
You're right. Don't ask yourself your question.
I don't lead myself.
So how was it for you moving across the country from California to New York as a young
So
as a young kid?
2014, right? I told you I was in community college. I probably had like half a year left, and then you guys, we all met in Columbus, 2014.
In the little woods area.
In the woods area.
Which kind of gives this vibe.
I remember the house 100%. I'm sure you did
Yeah,
too.
we did. That's where we launched FaZeberry.
Yeah. We had that multiple times.
At Canes for the first time.
We had
in Arizona.
We had like 12 people in there. Dude, that was awesome. That house.
You know what I liked about that whole, just like going to events and like nobody like was on no weird ego. We just sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
It just felt like our version of like college, I guess.
Yeah. No,
I don't know. Those experiences.
That was the best. Yeah. There's no egos. And I'm not trying to imply that people have massive egos now, but everyone
there was a guy who always wanted the master bedroom, but it's fine. Like the rest of us, we just didn't care. Sleep on whatever. There's something about it. It's fun.
It is, yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
People just got bougier with time too.
Yeah.
When people got money, they got bougier.
Yeah. It's actually sad.
To this day, like my friends, you know all my friends.
Yeah.
Like I have a really good group of friends.
Amazing people, by the way.
They're awesome. But like even if I go, like we'll still get one hotel room and like share.
There's something fun
share
about
beds and like
it just reminds me of like being a kid going on like school trips and stuff, and it's just I don't know. There's something.
Some people would never. They'd have to get a suite for themselves, not just a hotel room, but a suite.
I don't know.
But yeah, no, that was fun. But after that trip in I think it was like June or July, we decided we were gonna move in. So I went to my parents. I talked to my brothers first actually, and I was like, at that time, I guess I'll say it. It's not a bad thing to say, but I probably had like $60K saved up, which is a lot of money. I was like 18.
Yeah.
So like
when you moved to New York?
Yeah. So like I made good money already.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, they want to quit school, and a lot of people try to quit school, drop out of everything, like without any, I will do
Yeah,
it.
people even tell me, bro, it's so crazy. I looked at Jason's logs on my Twitch, and he asked me last year in my chat, Rain, do I drop out of school?
Yeah, that's crazy.
How crazy is that?
No, I mean when he first joined FaZe, I was talking to him about that.
Yeah, but it's like if you have something going for you. But
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
if you drop out with nothing there, nothing already in motion, that's projected to make a lot of money. It's crazy.
Yeah, because
Like if you're making like even like 5K a month, 6K a month on something that could go up
even
a lot.
less, but other things you have something, right? So
Yeah, that has momentum to grow a lot.
Yeah,
more,
a lot of the people in my local community, like in the mosque, right? A lot of the parents will ask me that kind of stuff, or they want to like, I want to do this, and like they think I'm gonna be like, yeah, drop out, but it's like no. I always say the only reason it worked for me was first off, I graduated high school early, so I had 2-year little head start, worst case scenario. And I told my mom I had like $60K saved up, so like clearly I was doing this for like 2 years. I had money, I was making money. So it was like it was a logical decision. I thought I'll pause school for a year. If everything fails, I'll just come back and continue school.
That's exactly what my principal told me.
Yeah.
He had the most beautiful speech. I won't even bother trying to recite.
I remember
you
you told me that, yeah. But exactly, you made money at that point. It makes sense. It's not just like I'm emotional, I'm going to drop out, right? But anyways, yeah, so I talked to my parents, and then they helped me. I went to Cheesecake Factory with my parents. Sorry, I talked to my brothers, and they helped me with my parents. My parents didn't push back. My dad, my dad was like, do
whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah, my dad, I love my dad. My dad he's like, he always has been number one supporter of like, to this day.
Mine too.
I knew you were going to say that. Right when I said it, I know I'm setting myself up. I mean, he is technically.
He's a good guy.
But he's, my dad to this day, like, he's always following the views, and, he's not as happy anymore.
That's how Al used to be. Oh my God, sitting on Social Blade all day.
I saw him recently at a family dinner. He doesn't ask me anymore. After the FaZe stock crash and all that, which maybe we'll get to.
Yeah.
He gave up. But he's like, what the hell's wrong with your views, man? 10,000? The last 20 questions I did, I had like 10K views. I'm like, bro, I don't know. But he still cares.
Crazy. Like it's one thing when you hear from a random kid in the comments, but hearing from your dad
when you hear
so
from your
wild.
dad's crazy. So my dad is always supportive. My mom was too, but she was just like, she's a mom, So I remember when I moved, I remember them being pretty emotional. Like my dad took me to the airport. I don't know. Like I was the first one to move out. I'm the youngest.
Which is crazy, right?
I was 18.
What was the age gap?
My oldest brother is 9 years older than me.
And you were 18 when you moved out?
Yeah.
27.
Yeah, in our culture, you don't move out till you get married.
Usually, yeah.
Like nobody moves out until they get married, right? My dad literally, why the hell would you go pay rent? Just live here. Like that's how our
and
culture.
he's actually right. By
no,
the way.
he is.
That's
I
the right way to move.
And by the way, after moving out, I'm sure you felt the same in some way. Like when we moved to New York, moving across the country, you moved to a different country. I started getting homesick very quickly, and like
we all hated New York.
And now looking back, I'm like, dude, I missed living with my parents, like my family. Like that's a special time. You always want to move out. It's how.
I feel like that's what's kept Rug grounded, for example. He's just always close to his family, and his cousins and everything. It's very good like support system.
It is, man. It's just life. You're always looking at like the next
Yeah.
what else you don't have, and then like you don't realize until, I know it's so corny, but it's true. You don't realize until it's too late. So like for me, like after I moved out, dude, I really was like at 18. I just look, I was like a couple years later, even being in the Newport house, I was like, dude, I miss living at my parents' house. Like it's, you know, so a lot of people are so quick to want to move out. I know everyone's lives are different.
It's
Circumstances
just one of
are
those
different.
things, bro. It's like when you're growing up and you feel like you can't do what you want to. Like a lot of kids
Yeah,
go
yeah,
through that.
no,
They have like this
100%.
beef with their parents, but then they move out and their relationship dramatically increases.
You know,
It gets
100%.
better.
Exactly. So that happened with me.
You probably
know,
loved your parents way more when you moved out.
100%. I just
Yeah, same.
appreciated them way more. Appreciated my mom way more. I remember, I mean, I don't usually talk, it's not that crazy, but I remember being there. Pamaj uploaded a video.
Yeah, he got mad at me because he thought I made Letter from My Mom. and
Letter
he
from
thought
My Mom.
I
Oh,
made a meme
and
video
then you
about
made
that.
a
My
meme
mom
about
trolling.
it.
He thought I was
Oh,
clowning him, but I
yeah.
wasn't clowning him. I was literally just...
Dude,
Because I was
I
just, you know how
forgot
you
about
said,
that.
like, oh, my dad supports him. Like, yeah, me too. That's like my
Yeah.
mentality. I'm just...
No. So Pamaj made a video.
It was
about
a sweet video. It was a wholesome, nice
He made
video.
it was a wholesome video about his mom. I got super emotional when I watched it.
And then I made a...
Like I just, cause I said, like it made me like that. Like I realized at that moment, like, oh my God, you know, like I never, like I always took you take your mom for granted for sure until you get older and you realize, right? That's why when I see younger kids like disrespecting their parents, again, I know everyone's different. Anyways, I remember his video made me super emotional, and I literally bought my parents like they've never traveled. Like I just told you, my dad was working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. So like, although he was able to put us in this house, like we didn't see him. He literally was working, you know, like one day off a week maybe, and he's working till midnight every day. Like literally, the hours
So
are.
you're probably sleeping before you even saw him.
Yeah, I mean, but me, I had the night owl, you know, thing. So I would see him, and then he's also waking up very early in the morning to like trade in the stock market, which is like a little precursor to us going public, which I'll get to later, right? But so when I would be going to sleep after editing videos all night, he'd be waking up. So I would see him, you know, like I would see him, like, but they would never travel. Like we never traveled because with 6 people. Do you know how expensive it would be to fly with 6 people?
Yeah.
So we just never really traveled. So that was the first time they traveled. Like I bought them a ticket to go to like Italy or something. So random. I don't even.
That's where I want my parents to live.
Italy.
Yeah, that's it. I feel like they're gonna live longer because they don't really do.
Yeah,
Canada.
they gotta get out and.
I don't know what it is, but something about living somewhere where, I don't know, the food's cleaner, the lifestyle's just more active. They're just like getting up, being in the sun. I don't know. It's like they're not really doing that in Canada.
Especially with the weather there.
Because right now their goal, they don't do anything in life. So it's like one
bad.
goal, live longer.
That's what happened with my dad. Like when he retired, like his life went on a downhill trajectory.
No, it's because what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like it almost keeps them alive.
Yeah, they have. So he's like finding a balance now. He walks like. Anyways, we're jumping way ahead. But yeah, I remember that video made me emotional, and they went to Italy, and I remember it was like that was my way of feeling better.
Yeah.
And then after that we moved back. I would visit here and there, but they were pretty supportive of it. I was very happy to move back to LA.
You've never had a negative relationship with them though, right?
No.
Because a lot of kids do. Like I definitely hated my mom at one point.
No,
Like,
thank
but
God.
only because she was so protective, and when you're a kid, you're stupid. You don't realize.
No,
why.
honestly, like I never caused issues. I was never like a troublemaker kid either.
Your brothers probably though, right?
One of my brothers was like he was really bad with my mom.
Yeah.
Like we to this day, like obviously he regrets it, but like he was
it's
like
better now, I would
crazy.
imagine?
Yeah. But like I never had a bad relationship. I always listened. Like I never had problems with my parents. Like I always did what they wanted. They always listened. Even my mom, like she just trusted me. Even when I was like 14. So like when I'd go out with my friends, she never gave me a curfew or anything like that. I never like crossed any lines.
Kid. Like you actually.
There was
abided by
one
your
thing
parents.
that happened. Like you always try to say I smoke cigarettes in the New York house, right? But I've never smoked.
Damn, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, first and foremost, why do you lie to your audience?
Yeah.
I forgot
So that's the right. I've never drank in my life because and even there's a story actually. See now I'm the one jumping all over the place, but you referenced it. But we never talked about it. A story that happened in my first MLJ Anaheim.
I honestly was gonna bring it back up. I'm like, okay, we skipped there. We're not gonna talk about.
No, but this is a good.
Wait, that's what this is about?
No.
Oh.
But I mean, I was gonna say I never smoked, I never did anything.
Yeah.
That moment in
Almost
MLG
did.
Anaheim was the one time in my life I was like 16. At early MLG Anaheim, Tommy, Fakey, a few guys were smoking in the hotel. They would literally smoke in the hotel bathroom.
I was at the door.
Yeah. So I was sitting with Seabass. This is me saying I never smoked weed, but this is the one time where I quote unquote almost did. I was sitting with Seabass.
I'm glad you did it though.
I was sitting with Seabass, and they're literally telling me, come smoke, come smoke, come smoke. I'm like 16. Pretty easy to probably sway at that time. I was not as confident in like what I believe in, and not that I didn't believe it, but when you're younger, you're like more nervous. You want to fit in or whatever. So I was low key like I had no interest ever in smoking, but like I almost did. And Seabass was like, don't do it. Seabass sitting
Seabass
sitting next to me on the bed. He's like, "Don't do it, man. You don't need to do that." And I was like, "You know what? Okay, Seabass."
Seabass.
And I just after that moment, I just never no one ever tried to you guys never ever tried to pressure me to smoke. You guys,
I didn't either for the first
until the beginning, until the end of you,
bro. But you know how I started, right?
No, the Vape Lord Nord stuff.
No. Bro, Alex came down one day, and I would always make like decisions off random number generator. I put roulette 0 to 36. He said, he's like, if it hits 14 first try, you have to smoke with us tonight. I never did.
Oh, okay.
I only smoked like 3 times in my life at that point. I hated it.
Yeah.
And then he got it. And then the next day he came down, he's like, let me do it again. I'm like, okay, what are the chances he gets it back to back? He got it back to back. So I was forced to smoke with him 2 nights in a row. By the third night, I was a statistic, bro. Third night, he's like, let me try again. I was like, nah, I'll just come smoke.
Yeah,
and I've been smoking every day since.
So you guys had never ever nobody has ever asked me to smoke, drink. You guys have always been super like, hey,
yeah, no one ever.
This is early,
I get why Alex wanted to with me though, because
it's different. It's obviously for me, it's like a religious thing, so everyone's very respectful of it.
Yeah.
This is early on. They didn't know anything about me at the time. They wouldn't have known it's a religious thing. They're just like, come smoke. Anyways, shout out Seabass. He was like the guy that was like, don't fall for the peer pressure. So I was gonna say that was the only time I almost smoked. But what I was gonna see, I'm so sorry, guys. This episode's all over the place. But what my mom, the one time I ever did anything where me and my mom were like, is when we went to the MLG Anaheim, 2013.
The one that I was at?
Yes.
Oh.
And there was a girl that visited the house that was like an Instagram model. She visited the house and like, no, because everyone took pictures with the girl. It's not like, it was nothing insane, right? So first off, we're not supposed to, in our religion, unless it's a relative, like your mom or sister, or someone, your wife. You're not supposed to like hug the opposite gender. You're not, you're right? So I was taking a picture with her, like I took a picture like that. I was like 18 at the time. I went to post it on my Instagram, and I blocked my mom on Instagram. Because I knew I shouldn't post this. And I was like, my mom's going to see it. So I blocked my mom and post it. And then literally like 30 minutes later, she calls me. And I just answer. And I'm like, hello?
Screaming.
No, not at all. She's just like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I know I probably shouldn't have done that. And then she literally was just like basically like, you know better.
So it was like the disappointment that hurt more than even getting yelled at.
And I was like, all right, I unblock her. I delete the picture. That like it wasn't a huge deal. That's the one moment I can think back to where I ever had like some weird. Never got in trouble with my parents. Never had problems with them.
So you and your mom have practically had a perfect relationship.
You can ask her. I think from my perspective.
Well, hold up. Since you've been an actual human, not when you were like a little baby.
From my perspective, yes. Like thank God. And my dad, I've never had problems with my parents. My brothers,
really good.
My
That's
brother,
how I am with my mom as of the last like 14 years. But before that, oh hell
yeah. No, everyone has different circumstances or whatever. But
you know who Patrick Bet David is?
Yeah,
I heard him say a beautiful quote about like how kids look at their parents. It's like first they idolize, then they demonize, and then finally they humanize. It's like so true because like when you grow up, you think your dad's like a superhero or whatever.
Yeah.
I know I did. Yeah. Then I hated that my whole life. And then when I grew up and I was like, you know what? My mom's amazing, but damn, imagine dating her. So then I called like, you know, it's good.
Yeah.
No, like, I get it. Like looking at her in that relationship, like they just didn't match.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why but then he did the same thing to my little brother. So hold on. He's a monster, but it is what it is, right? I still humanize though. You got to like
the human. I'll keep the commentary about your dad out.
It's cool.
But cool. You know, we've talked about him.
Yeah.
I thought we were good with him, but now he's back on the bad list in my head now.
Yeah, I thought.
But anyways, your point of the humanizing, it's natural when you get older. Like again, like I think now so why the hell did my dad buy me the HDTV or the HDTV? It's like
he bought you a TV and a PVR?
No, just the HDTV. The Easy Cap I bought was $5 from Radio Shack.
$5?
Yeah, $5.
So I got a hand-me-down HDTV and it was huge.
No,
like they're not good. It's not a good thing.
I had to buy it, but I think if I had $400 in my bank. And I had a little moron, like 12-year-old son that's like, I want an HDTV so my video would look better. And it's not like I was making videos. Chance. I'd probably kick him in the head and say, get out of here. He bought it. So shout out him. I don't know why he did it. But yeah, there's a lot of things.
There had to have been something in his heart that they said, like, do it.
There's a lot of things when you get older, though. You look back and you put yourself in the shoes of your parents. Like that.
The ROI on that PVR is crazy.
The ROI was pretty good on that. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty, like, alhamdulillah, like, very soon after that, I was able to help, My dad it's not like he ever needed like crazy help, but if they were stressing, whatever. When I was 14, I was making enough money to help if I needed. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you're right. The ROI was beautiful. Obviously, he didn't even think about it like that. There was no even concept of making money when I wanted the HDTV.
He's like,
there was no YouTube.
The trash.
There's no YouTube AdSense at the time. YouTube AdSense didn't even exist for people. So people maybe now think, yeah, well, maybe you knew that you'd make money off of it later. No, like
that's what a lot of people don't get too. Like we had nobody to point to. Like when I wanted to do YouTube,
we didn't even think about money. Yeah, we didn't even think about money. That was not the point of it at all. And
that's why it worked out, honestly. A lot of people come into this very money oriented.
Yeah.
And they don't get it as fast as, like they realize it doesn't come as fast as they think.
Yeah.
And they give up. It takes a long time. You actually have to do it because you want to, and eventually.
I'll tell you, even now, like after stopping and then trying to restart making content or even like streaming randomly, like I'm like, damn, like it's a commitment. Like if you really want to take off, if I ever want to get back to where I was.
It's not if that's what you want to do.
No, exactly. But with the rest of life and all the other, like it's harder. Like now, when I look at myself now, I don't, you know, it's not a passion the way it used to be. I don't have as much time. But like my point is that I realize how much of a commitment it is. To your point, you can't just like, even us now who used to have a massive, successful, active audience, we still have an audience that's there ready, which is like, we're very blessed that we can.
The thing is, our names are still recognizable to people, so it's like you just have to give them a reason to care.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not like they have to discover a new person.
But even with that massive like head start that we have today,
it's still hard.
It's still really hard. Yeah. So, then we moved back. You know, New York House. We've spoken enough about it, but a beautiful time. Me and you hated each other at the beginning. We became really good friends after, and we all moved here.
It was just because me and him were the 1 and 2, so it was like we're always competing with like who did better.
Yeah.
Like I'll never forget when you hit that shot on Turbine. So mad.
You were in my lobby.
I was.
You're giving me
I'm reacting like, oh, but I'm mad.
Giving me evil eye in the middle of the lobby.
No, what are you talking about? We got 30K likes in a day.
10K, but yeah.
Nope, 30. 32 actually.
You know, I was actually at a camp that weekend with our mosque. No service. Mm-hmm. I was on the bus back, finally get service, and I saw the numbers.
I know you were. I know.
I was so happy, bro.
That was actually like when it started kind of popping off. Like, like for a COD live comms. When we like after that, we'd probably get some videos with like 1 million views, which is crazy.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? That same camp, fast forward maybe 3-4 years, moving out of the New York house. Talk about the end of the New York house, moving to the LA house. Same thing. I was at that camp. I think we had service. Service was better at that time, so you always had service. But that's when the whole thing with Banks happened at the end of the New York house.
Oh, okay.
And you guys were literally filling me in. And I had my eyes that big. Look at 3 years later how different life is. It was so crazy. That's when Banks went through the very public like thing in Germany, and he dyed his hair blonde and all that stuff.
Holy shit, I forgot the blonde one.
I was in the same bus 3 years later. But yeah, then we moved I was very happy to move back to LA. Obviously, New York was great.
It was honestly better for us. And if we stayed there, hypothetically, there's a world we stay there 2 extra years, I actually think everything's different.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because that's like when we started to realize who each other. I mean, I guess it's inevitable.
See,
right?
that's one thing that I want to like. A lot happened at the end of New York to LA. People ask me, okay, so I'm kind of jumping ahead, but you know, if you go on my Instagram, just scroll down a few, you'll see a lot of my posts are me in Palestine or me in Mecca or Medina, right? Me posting about being Muslim, about Palestine, which I never did. Back to earlier, our conversation with the guy that was. Right. So a lot of people like a lot of Muslim kids will come up to me and like, when did you start praying or when did you start? Like basically like it's implying that I just recently started like observing my religion, whatever the word would be. Right. But it actually was never as long as I can remember, I've always, like I said, I never did certain things. And even the New York house, they used to I don't know if you even know this, but I used to pray. Like we have to pray. We have to pray 5 times a day, right?
Yeah. No.
I used to pray in my room all the time. Nobody knew.
I knew the whole time.
You knew because you know you're also we have a similar background.
But
family.
I don't ever remember you hiding it from me.
No, I didn't. That's the thing. I wouldn't hide it.
You just want to talk about it.
I'm also not gonna just stand here in the middle of in the living room. Everyone's talking, just start praying in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like I would just be in my room. Like I used to take the huge FaZe mobile with the massive logo. I would take it to the local mosque every Friday. I never told you guys I'm going to the mosque. I mean,
that one I don't remember.
As long as I don't remember, but like we have to go every Friday, and I used to go. I used to take Tommy's car. I wouldn't even tell him. I was like, "Can I take your car?" So at that point, I was a little more reserved still. Wasn't shy, but I was a little more reserved. But I used to, I still prayed. I still did. Like in recent years, which we'll get to, like I've taken it even more serious, trying to study and learn more. But I always practice. So a lot of people think like it. But at that time, I was doing all of that. And I had a really good group of friends here that also...
I always say that's what I feel like kept you grounded, and that's why you never folded for anything else. Like
exactly,
you never ended up smoking, never ended up being like, all right, let me just try to go out one time. Let's just see what happens. I'll drink alcohol one time. Like
exactly, it's because my friend. That was what I was gonna say too. It's
because
like,
they stood on those like
literally because I was
the
very
same way.
Exactly. We all had the same view of
You're all
life.
extremely similar too.
I like everyone went through something when we moved to LA.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, I was smoking way too much. Weed like ruined me back then.
Everybody, even Adapt, we talked about it on my episode with him. Like he OD'd
Did he say
the
what?
pills he was taking.
Oh.
But this is like, you know, Banks had his own stuff.
Yeah, quite literally everybody had something.
Everybody kind of went. Everybody had like a little off couple months. Like I don't want to say went crazy.
Yeah, Tico was ripping acid every single
Not
day.
Tico.
Shit
I
was-
guess
No,
Tico-
that's like a joke we told.
Yeah.
You don't remember the Rug thing? When Rug first came to the house, Alex just randomly was like, yeah, Tico's in his room ripping acid all day.
It's so funny.
And then Rug would always be like, are you okay, Tico? Like he had no idea. It's
I
so
don't think
funny.
Tico. I think Tico maybe just.
No, Tico, nothing.
I think he just
Tico's
had
fine.
low emotional like. We all
Yeah, he just
we
got
all
upset.
did.
Everybody got like, you know.
Everyone did. Blaze, as I talked to him about it, I told him I think his thing was the music, his music career. But he's like, obviously he doesn't look at it that way.
His thing for what though?
like we all like everyone went off in a different direction in some way.
Oh.
Some people were like drugs and partying. Some people were like, if I didn't have my friends, I probably would have went absolutely crazy. Like,
Yeah.
for sure. And for me, I give credit to my religion.
And if only they knew like the way the corporate whole, because it was still very there
Yeah.
at that time, you know?
No,
You were always dealing
100%.
with them and it was annoying.
It was an interesting time.
Yeah.
I think the LA house though, like before I guess it really kind of fell apart. I think the beginning of it was a lot of fun. I think I look back, we had some fun. That's when you told me that you were also Palestinian.
Yeah.
And I looked at you. You locked the door and told me. I'm like, no way
I
you
didn't
wait.
lock the door and tell you.
No
I
way
just
you waited
told you.
3 years to tell me.
I didn't even because
we
I didn't
lived in the same house together, moron, and you never wanted
because it
to.
was easy. It's like the same to me. It wasn't even like a secret. It was kind of like the same way I say I'm from Toronto, but if it comes up, yeah, I'm from Mississauga. So I just went with like Syria because it's like all I know culturally.
Yeah, 'cause your
But
mom-
technically I'm not.
Your mom's Palestinian, but she moved to Syria.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm
But
saying.
he
Like,
told me that
technically I'm
this is like,
culturally
this
Syrian.
is like
but
it was like a massive thing you randomly dropped on me. I was like, no
yeah,
way.
you made it sound like I like hid everything.
Yeah. But yeah, we had fun in that house, dude. That house, the shoes. Did we tell the shoe story on your podcast? And
Oh, Brandon, yeah.
crazy stuff
we
happened
did.
in that house where there was a guy in our house too that was
He
kind
was
of.
on meth, bro.
Oh, was he on? That's insane.
No, he said he did it one time by accident. He like said he was trying to like, I don't know, he was trying to do coke or whatever the hell they do. And he accidentally had meth. But then I guess he liked it a little bit too much. And he kept doing meth. And poor Tico, he was trying to help the dude. He was lying, saying his like mom
He said his mom died,
and all
yeah.
these things. And he needs somewhere to stay. And he was going through all this stuff.
Tico
Yeah,
had him
yeah.
staying in his room.
And we
I
all
told
leave
that-
the gym. He'd go through everybody's room and just like.
Yeah, me
he's
and
a
Tico
weirdo.
talked about this on his podcast at length. Tico, dude, I felt really bad for him because he literally let this guy in. Guy lied
Yeah.
about his mom dying, and he was like I guess a meth addict. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, it's sad.
That's how crazy that stuff is. Like you could do it by accident and
Yeah.
actually end up doing it. That's
Yeah.
the craziest part. It's like not everybody goes into that by choice. It's insane what it does to people's brains.
Now it's scary for sure. I remember that was another moment where you and Blaziken called me because like
I was so confused.
for months leading up, we talked about like your guys' shoes went missing.
And I knew they were there because we just came back from New York.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I just wore those shoes. How could they be
This
gone?
is when you-
And I'm counting every person that came to the house. And it was only Amir from the gym, Tommy's friend, that like white blonde dude from the gym also, and that guy. It was nobody else, but I'm like, there's no way it's that guy. He's so nice.
Yeah.
He didn't even come to my room without permission.
Yeah.
We're all going up. He's just standing there. Like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, nobody told me to come. I was like, bro, just come. What are you doing?
Bro, that's when you guys were all in your hype beast era. Massive hype
Unfortunately,
beast.
yeah.
So you guys had like tens of thousands of dollars in shoes and Gucci and all that stuff.
Don't remind me.
So their shoes were literally going missing. I didn't have any shoes to steal. So I didn't lose.
Not the zebras?
No.
You didn't have
Oh,
those
I
yet?
did. I got those from Goat though. I didn't buy them. Goat sent me them for free. But yeah, you guys had your shoes missing, and it turned out to be this guy and then
Yeah.
it turns out his mom was alive, and I
He
think
also
that
thought
was.
me and you hacked his phone.
Oh yeah, he thought me and you
Because
were.
the Apple TV.
He thought me
thing.
and you were
He's-
spying
he's
on him.
insane.
That was
He's
our.
like, I'm not stupid, Nor. I know you and Apex are on my phone. I was like, what?
I was like, where did the 50 Cent meme? That was me. I was like,
yeah, I know. I was so
I was like, where did I
confused.
come from?
Like, we're nothing but nice to this guy. So
That,
it's so
that
random.
was our first. I think that was our first experience, and then after that, the stories have only got more insane. Sometimes someone will say something or remind me of something that happened at FaZe, and I'll be like, I cannot believe I forgot about this story.
Because there's so many.
And it's literally like a once in a lifetime most insane story ever. There's so many of them. Anyways, I like the house. Looking back, I don't remember much about it, but when I watch all those videos and stuff, like I start to feel the vibe that like I remember being. I don't remember. I enjoyed that house. I know it was like
Newport or New York?
Newport.
Yeah, I did too.
I know it was like kind of the downfall in some ways, but honestly, it was really.
In all ways, yeah.
But honestly, it was like we had fun in there the first couple.
The first quarter was great. Everything after that. But this is what I was gonna say too. A lot of people might not realize when it comes to like corporate and how it affected us. It wasn't just that we had a corporate entity helping us do stuff. They were literally trying to like divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you remember the comments with like would always pull me to the side, tell me all the bad things you were saying about me, which I know you probably didn't even say. He would just make it up. Like you talk about me to Seb, and he would tell me, yeah, but you're the truth. This guy's just talking about you. And I know he'd do the same thing to like Banks and you and everybody. Like he literally would try to destroy relationships.
No, I mean,
and then you wouldn't even know what's true and what's not true. So that's why I just have to dismiss everything he said as a lie. It has to be.
Yeah, that guy was, I know we've talked enough about him, but that was a weird,
I'm just saying, because I don't think people understand the degree to how it like actually damaged the relationships and everything.
Because it was already also at a point, like I said, where I think we were all at that point, like 20, 21. Banks is hitting 30 almost.
About 40 now, so yeah, gotta be, right?
Banks is telling me a little older, but I think that's a natural point in life where you're already trying to like find who you are, find new things that, plus already having all the success of New York and like, okay, you already reached peak success in some ways, the numbers that you wanted and blah, blah. It was a bad recipe, but yeah, so that they didn't help. But you got any questions for me?
Sorry, I actually did have a question for you. I was going to ask you.
This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. So I don't know where you guys live. It's summertime here in California and it's getting pretty hot. And actually in about a month, I'm going to be flying all the way to Saudi Arabia where it's literally over 100 degrees every single day. So what I'm going to need to pack with me and what you guys might need to have in your pocket as well is some Liquid IV. Liquid IV is extremely convenient. It's easy to access. You just pair, pour, and enjoy. Liquid IV is clutch to just stay hydrated in the heat, to fuel up for your sports, or to even recover next day when you're tired and you wake up with no energy. For me personally, I always lean towards strawberry and watermelon. Once again, there are many sugar-free options like white peach, lemon lime, rainbow sherbet, and more. They also have some more fun flavors to bring out the kid inside of you. They got cotton candy and popsicle firecracker. So, if it's a hot summer day, you want to remember your childhood when you were burning in the sun, get a cotton candy one or get a popsicle firecracker, whatever flavor you want. There's so many to choose from. My favorite thing about Liquid IV again is that you just need one stick of Liquid IV. Pair that with 16 ounces of water and it hydrates you better than water does alone. So squeeze the most out of your summer with Liquid IV. Pair, pour, and live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off of your first order with code FFPOD at checkout. That's 20% off of your first order with code FFPOD at liquidiv.com.
Do you have any regrets with the corporate and like the corporate structure somehow maybe enabling them, working with them? Does any of that, like, do you feel anything about that?
I mean, hindsight, obviously 2020.
Yeah.
Yes, now.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I know you wanted to believe in that.
I talked about it. I mean, I'll just, in 2018 is when the guy got kicked out for funneling money to his.
Oh yeah, you're NDA'd up. You can't talk like I can.
His wife and his brother. At that point, everybody, we were all separate. We barely talked to each other.
Would you still get in trouble for that?
I don't know, man. I just don't.
Okay, my bad. You got it.
I hate the whole. But my point is, at that point, I went to the office thinking like I'm gonna do whatever I can to save whatever's going on. We were in a really bad spot at that point. But then Fortnite happened. Everyone kind of got more involved. I think over the next few years, I just continued to try to make the corporate stuff work. Then obviously at the end, I think we could have done things differently and maybe applied some pressure. I think
unity was the most important thing.
I think we all had so much baggage.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that went on already. But for me, my perspective of me trying to just stick out the corporate stuff was like, dude, we had hundreds of investors. I saw the boards. I would attend the board meetings. If you saw the people on the board meeting, I've told you this. Like, it was so out of our control. So I tried my best to keep it as close to us as possible. That was my perspective. But yeah, obviously, I regret, I hate some of these people that I used to talk to on a daily basis. And, they probably are living it up right now. Some of the money that we tried to save.
All the money we worked for. They took it all. They took it all.
Yeah.
That's what I hate the most is like the belief that we like sold.
Yeah.
That we sold our shares or we sold control of the company. That's what I'm saying. I wish people truly understood what it's like, but they really just never will.
Yeah.
They could try to understand it based on what we're saying, but they'll never know what that was like.
Yeah. I will say one thing. And I know that going public was probably ended up being one of the worst decisions.
But it was so obvious. Like,
yeah.
But again, they just be lying. They be trying to pad the numbers, make everybody feel like you're going to make so much money. Everything's going to be so good. Blah, blah,
At that
blah.
point, I remember actually, even the CEO at the time who I was working with, I would always talk to him because, again, I was trying to do what I can. We even didn't want to go public, but the board literally was like, no, we're going public. Because it was already like a year and a half into trying to go public. It was because there's this whole thing about SPACs. They were called a SPAC, and it was like this massive thing that would...
Special Purpose Acquisition Company.
Something like that. And whenever someone would SPAC, it would start at $10, and all these companies were exploding from it. So at the beginning of the talking, it was like a good idea. By the time we actually were about to go public, the SPAC market, like the SPACs were kind of like fading out. But literally, I remember I was on the call, like, no, we did not want to go public. And the board was like, the board voted, no, we're going public. So, I mean, it just is what it is. What I was going to say is, as bad as that experience was, I have to look at it in a somewhat positive experience. I told you my dad, with the whole HDPVR story earlier, this guy would wake up my entire life. He'd be waking up to trade stocks in the morning.
So when you had a stock, he was probably going crazy.
Yeah. So before, he would wake up to try to make money before going to work 12 hours at the car dealership. You know what I'm saying? All I remember is him waking up. I would be, like I just said, I'd be going to sleep editing while he wakes up to trade. To go public, he literally came on stage with us when we went public. Ring the bell.
Yeah.
Like I have pictures all over my phone of him at NASDAQ in the building, hyped. Like it sucks. Look at the stock. The stock it goes public at $10. It went up to $20 first day. And then by the time we could sell, it was like 40 cents.
It went up to 20 because nobody could sell and people thought it was going to tank. So they all shorted it and it caused it to go the other way.
And when it went up to 20, life looked like it was about to be good, but we also knew it was never going to be. We just knew we were going to get finessed. But
I don't want to be that guy and just say that. But
no, but of course.
That's why I purposely made sure every photo of me there, I look miserable.
But
that was by design.
What I will say is I still am like, okay, that was a cool moment for my dad to go to NASDAQ, be on stage, ring the bell. It's cool. His little HD TV purchase.
Do you remember? Sorry, I'm so sorry I cut you off. That's probably my second time on this podcast. So,
no,
do you remember how I don't know, like this just matters to me, I guess, but like how fake that it was? There was always someone in the background like, okay, clap, smile, look happy.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just hate things like that.
And no.
So
yeah,
much.
the whole thing was
the fakest thing in the world.
That's how the whole.
Sorry.
That was how FaZe was for a few years, unfortunately.
What?
Like just literally that fake. It was after COVID and after like
PR
cancel
team came
culture
in, it
went a
was
little
horrible.
insane, and I think the whole world felt it. Right, 2021.
Virus felt it.
2021 for like a few years, the whole internet was like walking on eggshells. So that version of FaZe was a horror. Oh my god, I hated that version. We had to put out a statement for everything. You know what I mean?
That's essentially that phase, by the way. Is like I already had beef with Seabass before, but that's like what made me.
No, I know. I love
feel some type
Seabass.
of way.
That's when I started having a lot more friction with him.
Yeah.
Personally, not on a personal level, but in a business sense, because like I didn't agree with. We were so cookie cutter, like beyond belief. It was just like it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
The statements we'd put out, the decisions that would be made, just none of it made sense. But anyways, that cancel culture's like I feel like the whole world is like, hey, this is too much. So we're kind of like nobody really acts like that anymore, right? I mean, I don't feel
No,
like
for sure. It's just like it's changed a little bit. People still do the same thing.
But it was all part of the process. But yeah, my point was everything felt fake at that time. So I think that being at the NASDAQ, this was like just another day.